Welcome to the Idaho Show.
Hi, I'm Ryan Reagan and welcome to the Idaho Show, where we interview interesting people in Western Wyoming and beyond. My guest today is Tim Knecht, a singer, songwriter, and musician that's made a name for himself in this area for the last few years. Let's go find Tim.
Hey there, Ryan.
Hello, good to see you.
Long time no see.
Great place to play a song.
Right? Can't beat it out here in Wyoming. Well, I'm gonna play you one real quick. This one's called I Can't Win. It's off my new album. Nothing I do seems to bring me peace. Wish I can escape from this reality. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep moving along, living in a world of sin. There's a sickness gnawing on my soul. It makes me wanna crawl and die in a hole. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep moving along, living in a world of sin. Come on now. Get lonely and I'll find a babe. She'll get too close and I'll push her away. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep proving along, living in a world of sin. She'll give me her heart, but I'll give it back. 'Cause when I'm tied down, I start feeling trapped. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep moving along, living in a world of sin. One more time now. Self-destructive, prone to misbehave. And I'll be that way until I'm in my grave. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep stumbling along, living in a world of sin. When I get to heaven, I know I'll forget all of my sorrow, but I ain't there yet. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep stumbling along, living in a world of sin. Can't win, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us about that song, Tim.
It's me complaining for about 2.5 minutes, you know? But, if I could sum up, if I could have one song, I think it'd be probably that one to kind of, I don't know, define life for me, I guess. So,
yeah. Okay. You keep plugging along.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say you're winning in some regards, Tim.
Trying, yeah. Things are going well for me. Yeah, I'm thankful.
Good. Well, tell us your story. And start where you grew up and how you made it out to Wyoming.
Yeah, okay. So, my name's Tim Knecht. I'm from Susanville, California. I was born in Sacramento, lived in northeastern California most of my life from like 6th grade. And then, been playing music since I was 16, writing songs since I was like 18. Where do I look? You or the camera? I don't really know.
Yeah,
where would you prefer?
Look at me.
Look at you? Okay. So, and then I just really got into music and moved out of California when I was 25 and had a big desire to, one, see the nation, and really wanted to check out the Rocky Mountains, because just looking at it on Google and reading about it in stories and stuff. And traveled in my van in 2019, trying to get into the music industry, essentially, to some extent. And ended up spinning my wheels a lot, learning a lot, spending a lot of money. Got to see a lot of the nation, so that was really exciting. A lot of the South and northern states, and figured out that I really wanted to live in the Rockies, and ran out of money when I got done doing my van thing that time, and was really praying about trying to end up back out here, and ended up getting a job doing pest control. And I was doing that for about 2 years, and ran into some guys that were playing music also, and they ended up getting me in a dance swing band and playing all these old country songs. And I've been doing that for about 3 years with them, and been doing it music full-time for about a year now. And yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. Got to see a lot more of Western Wyoming, and travel a bit and meet a lot of cool people, and it's been good.
Okay. Tell us about your musical inspirations. Where did you begin, and how did you get into country music? Why did you pick that as a genre?
So country really started out for me with my dad. It was when I specifically remember me and my sister being in his car, and he'd always have David Allan Coe and Hank Williams and George Jones and Johnny Cash playing. So that was already embedded in me growing up, so we knew those songs. And then when I started growing up, I started getting more into metal, like Pantera and Cannibal Corpse, and just all these crazy death metal bands too. And I started playing guitar when I was about 16, and just was really interested in doing that. And then I started getting into those jazz guys. And then I'd say someone that really opened the door for me into songwriting was my buddy Ryan Freitas. We spent a lot of time together. We were both grounded, and our parents were the only ones that we were allowed to hang out with at the time. So, and I was like, yeah, I play music. He's like, well, do you write your own stuff? And I'm like, no, not really. I mean, he's like, do you sing your own stuff? I'm like, no. And he showed me a tape that him and another friend did, Pat Thomas. And that really struck a chord with me, that they were creating, and like they had something tangible. And I'm like, oh, you can just like write. So him and I were doing a lot of writing together when we were younger. We had little bands called like Mother's Gin and Slow Hands McGee or whatever, you know, just dinky little duo acoustic things. It was a lot of fun, but he really opened the door for me, showing me like Hank Williams and Townes Van Zandt, and he showed me Lightning Hopkins, and that got me into the old blues guys, and started learning about Robert Johnson and those guys. And it really interested me, that kind of traveling musician, solo acoustic act thing. And I loved Hank Williams just because he could write and sing and make people dance, and the effect that he had on people. And then that just kind of, basically everything from there got me into all the other dudes like Waylon and Merle and Billy Joe Shaver and all that. But yeah, I'd say that Hank and Robert Johnson and Townes are probably my favorite and probably my biggest inspirations.
Okay, so you run out of money, you know you want to get to Rocky Mountains, you wind up getting a job in pest control, specifically in living in Star Valley, Wyoming. Mm-hmm. And tell us about your journey since you landed in Wyoming and then become a full-time musician.
So I got off the road super jaded and like, forget music, I'm just gonna work until I die, find a wife or something, you know, like settle down, that kind of thing.
Terrible existence.
Yeah, well, no, you know, but like, it's just, you know, I'm like, okay, I lost, you know, like I give up kind of thing. And then ended up going to a church function and meeting my buddy Tony, and he's like, well, I know a guy named Stu, and we could jam. And then the songs that I was playing and learning right then were songs that Stu and them were doing forever. And Tony's like, well, let's start a band. And I'm like, I'm not really into it at the time, but he ended up getting us some gigs over at the Moose. And then Rich and Joni were really big too, because they got me my first gig in Wyoming, and that kind of was getting me to not give up, kind of thing. Like, it's like, okay, like, still stay in it, but, you know, lick your wounds, kind of thing. And then we just kind of kept getting gigs. Tony kept bothering people, and then we started going to Pinedale and Du Bois, and ended up playing in Jackson at the Cowboy Bar and the Silver Dollar, and playing at Coulter's, and I was playing at Dad's at times. And
you just had a gig at the Silver Dollar last week, correct?
We did, yeah. It was a blast. Thank you everyone that came out, by the way. That was a really fun time. And yeah, it was really cool. And that was our kind of final hurrah at the Silver Dollar. And so I was doing pest control still at the time, and I knew I didn't want to ultimately do that the rest of my life, kind of thing. Like, as years went by, we've been doing this 3 years now, the music thing was really tugging at my heart again, and I was praying about it, and kind of got a confirmation from the Lord to, like, continue down that path. And so I quit my job, and I've been doing music full-time for the past year now. And then yeah, we got a few more gigs here in the Valley over at we got one today over at Star Valley Ranch at the Red Barn, and then we got a couple weekends at Coulter's. And then I'm gonna end up going down to Alabama. I live in my van, so I've been living in my van for about 3-4 months now, and it's been fine. I mean, the weather's been killer. It's getting a little chilly now, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so don't want to be here for -30 in the winter in the van, so I'm gonna go down to Alabama. I got my mom and dad just moved down south, so I'm gonna go hang out with them and bother them for the winter season, and Lord willing, come back up here for the summer and try and get a little circuit going and
try to get a foothold down in Alabama, the southern states there.
Yeah, it's fun down there. I'm trying to learn how to catch some catfish and hopefully fight some hogs. They got some wild boars there, but I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Great. So you told us about a number of your gigs, but you mentioned to me earlier that playing on the street is one of your favorites.
It's my absolute favorite. That's where I got my start, truthfully, I would say. A good friend of mine, his name is Brian Dolan. We were just talking about this the other day, too. We were outside the gas station at the casino in Susanville, and he was holding his shoe out. And I was just doing whatever. I mean, I wasn't very good at the time. We ended up making like $40, and it just kind of opened this different door to me, just kind of like playing on the streets. And I played up at the Jackson Square a lot, and I played San Antonio. I mean, just kind of anywhere the street corner where the cops don't run me off, kind of thing. It's really fun. I like to sit there and make the kids smile and dance, and the parents get happy, and talk to people for a little while. And it's I don't know, I guess it's just kind of my thing.
It's good atmosphere. People.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah. I just like making people happy and trying to make them smile as they pass real quick, and throw a couple dollars and quarters my way here and there.
Good. So you're leaving Alabama, and you told me that you're really intent on focusing and making it as a solo artist.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the journey you expect coming up. What kind of music are you gonna keep expanding into and playing?
I'm really thinking about. Well, I already have. I'm always writing, and I have more songs that I want to get out. And how do I describe it? It's just a never-ending thing, kind of thing. Like it.
Never-ending creative process.
It's like I need to just get them out, and then I move on, kind of thing. And then it's like a splinter constantly getting pushed to the surface. And
do you write your lyrics first and then the tune? How do you
mostly? Yeah. Sometimes it'll be different. I'll get a cool little lick that I really like, and it'll start on the guitar, and I'll be like, okay, let me see what I can put over that. But for the most time, it's me with a notebook and a pen, and then I build the music around that. And like the words kind of matter the most to me. And I love poetry. Like writing the words is easily my favorite part. Easily, like it. I just get off on it. It's fun. And trying to paint with words, like a picture in your head with like why this word is better than the other one, or just kind of trying to fight with that. And but yeah, I just plan on, my main thing is country, folk, and blues. Sometimes I get I'll do something a little weird here and there if it's in my heart, kind of thing, but I've kind of come to country folk and blues, and I think that ultimately comes from the country, Hank, folk, Towns, blues, Robert kind of thing, and trying to just kind of marry them and mush them all together into something special. But yeah, that's my main avenue. And then with the Alabama thing, just you'll probably see me in Huntsville on the corner somewhere, and I've been looking it up. Like I'll be playing on the streets and then getting gigs here and there and stuff like that, and hopefully I can kind of carry over what I'm doing here over there.
That's where you will start on the corner in Huntsville.
I'm hoping, if it ain't too cold, you know. So we'll see. Their winters are supposed to be lighter, but winter's winter, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You'll have to pick your days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your faith journey, Tim. I know you lean.
Now we're getting into the good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know you lean real hard on trusting the Lord in your next journey. What you're doing is very difficult. It's hard to cut it out, and there's very few that do it, and you're one of the few that are doing it right now, and that's real admirable.
Thank you very much. I'll be real with you. If it wasn't for Christ, I wouldn't still be here, and I really struggle a lot. Like, I'll be real. Like, I recently just had to quit like drinking and stuff, just because I just blow it up all the time, and I knew I was harming myself and didn't want to harm others with my decisions, that kind of thing. But long story short, I mean, I was hitchhiking, and I just didn't have any solid spiritual foundation base kind of thing. I mean, I was searching. I was a Satanist at times, Buddhist, Taoism. I was just searching, and then it was truthfully, I went to jail when I was 18 because I was just drinking, being stupid, and he started drawing me out. And then I'm like, Grandpa, I keep getting these synchronistic, like I feel like something's trying to talk to me. He's like, it's the effectual call, he's drawing you out. And I'd fight it, and then I just surrendered, and I knew it was Christ, and I had a guy speak Christ into my life, and I gave my life to the Lord, and he's like, I'm like, what do I do now? He's like, you got to change your playground, your playmates, and your playbook. And so I had to step away from friends for a while and change my living situation and move back in with my parents, and they helped me just get back on my feet and get my head right, my heart right. And then and it's still hard. It sucks because I still struggle. I feel like I should be so much more mature in the faith at this point, like 8 years. It's been about 8 years for me, but there's still like some sins that, how it talks about the sin that so easily entangles and stuff. It's like that constantly comes up for me, and just the music thing is hard too at times, like being around certain environments because of where this takes me, kind of thing.
You're playing in a bar.
Yeah, and just the certain people you meet at times, like there's levels of temptation that are different than, say, working at a gas station, and so that's difficult, and I've shot myself in the foot countless times, and God's been good and he's allowed me to continue what I'm doing, but I mean, not without certain spankings here and there, and I've realized that, and at this point I'm just trying to be a good Christian boy. I'm just trying to write good music, play good music for people until I die, you know, and that's about it. And keep it simple, love God, love your neighbor, preach the gospel, like, keep it like
living
that.
out in the woods.
Live out in the woods. I love the woods. Yeah, I don't mess up when I'm out in the woods. I'm a good boy when I'm out here. I'm just fishing and that kind of thing. It's when I go to town, that's when I kind of start getting in the weeds a little bit. So.
All right. Well, it was very nice interviewing you. Blessings to you in the future and your musical career.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you doing this.
Right. We look forward. We hope you have a great time in Alabama, and we look forward to seeing you back in Wyoming here before long.
I know. I'm excited. I'll come bother you guys again.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Tim. Can you give us a little lick to finish this off?
A lick? Oh, shoot. All right. That's all I got. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Mountain Luxury West. We make real estate fun again. Call us at 307-699-8559.